Hey there, Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button right now to help me out with the YouTube analytics. It is much appreciated. And to try to get my channels a few more views, if you could leave me a comment, even if it's only an emoji. It is viewer interaction that dictates some of the analytics, the majority of them. And so to reward you for your time and effort, I will pull a card and it'll be in next week's weekly reading, a card for every person that pulls, that leaves a comment. So if you leave a comment in your sun, moon, and rising, then you will have 3 cards pulled for you next week. And so it's a great way to get a very personal reading for nothing, right? But it really helps me out and I appreciate that. So let's get into what's going on this week. We're going to cover November 16th through the 22nd of 2020. And you have 2 highly spiritual cards. One I've seen before, but one I have not. But neither of them have come out today for anyone else. It's a relatively new deck for me, so I'm still learning it. We have Orbron. Orbron's number 14, so that would be like Temperance. 14, though, that's 5, right? That's change. And we have all this lightning flashing around. And it looks like there's a full moon with lightning, almost like an eclipse energy, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Well, yeah, in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, it'll be the full moon in Gemini in your 12th house. If you're a Cancer rising, lunar eclipse. Pretty crazy. Okay, so the last lunar eclipse was in Capricorn during Cancer season, right? We all remember how much fun that was. Okay, so it says reconnect to your physical body and get out of your head. Reconnect to your physical body and get out of your head. It is time to, it is to reassure you that you can achieve what is required. You may have to dig deep within yourself and maybe do this for the long haul, but you can and you will succeed. Oh, okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about that moon. So we have the moon, it is right now as I'm recording this, it is 10:35 p.m. on Saturday the 14th. So in 2.5 hours, no, 1.5 hour, will be like, so it's actually 10:37 right now. So yeah, in 1.5 hours, it'll be 12:07 a.m. And that is when the new moon will happen in Scorpio. This is very nicely aspected and it is in a fellow water sign for you. And it is in your house, especially if you're Cancer rising, your house of fun and romance and creativity. And so you're being asked, what do you want to create? What do you want to build? What is the big dream? Where are you planting your seeds of intention? And then 6 hours after that, that moon comes into a nice supportive aspect with Saturn over in Capricorn, who says, what's your plan? Do you have a plan? You need a plan. And so this is about planting the seeds of intention for what you want to create over the next 18 months, that you are going to be willing to do the consistent, determined, hard work, showing up for yourself every day. You can't cram for this exam. You got to show up every day and do the homework. That's what it is. Especially since you have this card where it says you will have to dig deep within yourself and maybe do this for the long haul, but you can and you will succeed. This striking red dragon's connection is firmly grounded and in effect connected to our base chakra. He therefore relates to everything that makes our physical lives and the world we create for ourselves. Orban's message is a simple one. Nothing in this world you call home is insurmountable. Nothing is too big to deal with. Get your feet back on the ground. Anchor yourself into your physical reality. Having your head in the clouds will not give you the answers you desire or require. Connect to your base chakra. And the base chakra is about meeting your basic needs. Health, roof over your head, enough food. It's financial security. Financial security is more of the second chakra, but it can be the first chakra. This is also about how you feel about yourself, your worthiness. This is very much getting your basic needs in life met. Okay, connect to your base chakra and reconnect to your physical body and get out of your head and into your body. Release your ever tumbling and twirling, swirling thoughts. When you are more grounded in this way, you will be better placed to deal with matters that are demanding your attention. You will then be able to handle them fully and with ease, freeing you to move forward. Your time is best spent tackling whatever is demanding your time. Deal with it totally, and then you will be in a position to move forward. Although Orban is a tough-talking dragon, sometimes you need to hear it as it is. He is a great ally when you need to get a job done and deal with the here and the now. Orban finishes his message with, seek the path of least resistance. The more you tussle with a problem, the higher the noose becomes, eventually strangling the solution. Oh, jeez. You know I'm a Cancer Sun, Mercury, Venus, North Node, right? I had that happen to me last week. Dealing with something sooner rather than later always makes it better. It's sort of like, when you're driving your car and you hear that funny little noise and you're like, oh, well, I'll check that later, and then it turns out that you have to have the whole underbody replaced. It's like, oh, okay, $6,000 later. That isn't what happened to me, but that's like a situation that could be. So it's like, you get the dripping faucet in the basement and you don't deal with it. You don't replace the washer. You just have to replace the little washer in there, and it's dripping. Well, now the dripping is getting down into the cement and then seeping through and is getting into the foundation. Next thing you know, you got to replace like half the building because it's like tipped over. That's kind of what that is about. So dealing with something sooner rather than later is less expensive, less stressful. So, and I think I got the impression that it was tackle one thing at a time from start to finish. So if you have a big to-do list, you're being encouraged this week to complete one project and then move on to the next, instead of spinning a bunch of plates and half doing a bunch of things, like actually marking things off the list. So then we have Morden. Only you are the master of your destiny. Oh, wow. This is some tough talk from these dragons for you. This is a highly powerful and all-encompassing character. He will open doors, put people or situations in your path that will lead you to living your divine purpose. It is his responsibility to guide you to fulfill the contract you made in spirit before coming to earth for this incarnation. He says, you are the power, accept it as your own. Only you are the master of your destiny. You have a job to do, so let's get on with it. If you have the tools and the knowledge you need. Your self-doubt hinders you. Your time is now. The world needs your light. Step into your heart, and I will take the journey with you. Your role is to take your light out into the world with me as your guide. Together, we are the master creators. As you discover your life purpose, acknowledge your fears and self-doubt, but do not be bound by them, for they cloud your truth. Follow your heart, feeling your way with truth and integrity. In case you were wondering, that thing you've been working on, that you've been not really putting all your time and effort into, that I'll get around to it. Get around to it this week. Don't miss the boat. I just saw a ferry leaving a dock. Only I was on the dock. Don't miss the boat. Okay, so this week we start out with so we were talking about that new moon, right? And then Sunday the moon got into Sagittarius, and that's how we start the week, with the moon in Sagittarius coming off of this new moon that's very potent. If you were watching this and it is a week or so, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now is the time. Make your intentions. This was a very important new moon, so make your plan, because I think you're realizing where it is that you want to go. Wow. Gemini got taking risks. Somebody had transformation. Lots of people had opportunity. I think you're like the third one. It's really cool. This opportunity card has this moon in it. Like, this moon is an opportunity. It's also, it's a new crescent moon, right? And we have healing chaos. I don't know if you know this, Cancer, but chaos is can't have anyone over syndrome. This tornado has a bunch of butterflies coming off of it, and the transformation is this butterfly. And so the chaos, the disruptions, all these things that are spinning around, it's spilling out all of these. Why is that so difficult? It is spilling out all of these butterflies into your environment, all these changes, and you're being asked to take a risk. And we've got the hawk here, this higher perspective, the seeing things from a higher perspective and being willing to go for it. There is an opportunity. So they were talking about all those projects, right? So that would be like the chaos, right? But the butterflies are as you transform them, as you finish one project so you can move on to the next. So just start on the to-do list. And I don't know how you're going to prioritize it, but I feel like you have a lot of things that you need to do. And so maybe doing, I feel like you have to do crisis management, where you're like, well, I have to do these 3 things first because they're time sensitive. And then after that, you kind of look at it and go, okay, well, these 3 would be really fast. So let's just get those done and knocked out. And then, start working your way to the bigger projects that take more time, that are not as time sensitive. However that works, right? And so there's a need for managing your time and being organized. I'm sorry that I'm laughing, because I'm definitely not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. So chaos is actually a name of an asteroid, and that asteroid resides in my house of Aries, which is the 4th house. That's the house of home, because I'm a Capricorn rising. So whenever I see chaos and I think of that can't have anyone over syndrome, that was a hard thing for me to figure out how to manage that. Okay, so the moon on Tuesday moves into Capricorn at 11:35 a.m. Something to keep in mind this week. So on Monday, we have Venus squaring off with Jupiter in Capricorn. Venus rules love and money, right? And so she just like had this square, which is a really tense conversation with Pluto about what do you want to transform around love or money in your life, depending on what's going on in your life, you'll know. And then she's on Monday, she's having this conversation again, but she's having it with Jupiter, and Jupiter goes, well, how are you going to expand that in your life to make it work? And then when she gets to, what day is it that happens? Oh, when she gets to Thursday, she has this conversation with Saturn, and Saturn goes, well, what's your plan? So remember, the moon was asked, what was your plan? And now Venus is being asked, what's your plan? And trust me, the moon is going to be asked again on Thursday what its plan is. And so having a plan and working the plan, you have to work the plan. You can't just have a plan. You actually have to work it, and you have to do some steps on that plan this week. You just do. If you really want to manifest the full potential of this opportunity. It's kind of like if you plant your cornfield on the first optimal day of the planting season, and you keep planting, you will have the highest yield, right? Because it will have had the most time to grow. And you will have, but if you plant a little later, then some of your crops may not reach their full maturity. And maybe if they do, they reach it when everybody else's does, and you don't get the highest price for it. And so this is about doing the hard work, being consistent, planting the seeds, nurturing the seeds, growing the seeds, but starting now. Because this is the optimal planting time on a new moon. Okay, Tuesday. Moon in Capricorn, Mercury opposing Uranus and Taurus. Both of these energies really are in good aspects with you, though. So I feel as though it's not that bad for you, but it's going to make for tricky conversations, tricky communication. So pay attention to the details. Pay attention to how you say things. Oh, look, you're emotionally protected. And I don't know why, but I looked at the bottom, and the bottom also says protection. You have cedar and you have gardenia, emotional protection and protection. So this energy that is kind of tricky, you are going to be protected. Imagine yourself in this, sitting in the middle of this white light, surrounded by this beautiful sense of safety and security. And I mean, both of these, the cedar is very protective through scent, and so is the gardenia. And so maybe if you're feeling a little stressed, like you need more protection, maybe it's a good time to light some candles, right? And allow that scent to be part of invoking spirit to come and protect you, St. Michael to come and protect you. Archangel Gabriel to help you find the right words. There's a really great energy on Wednesday, just really fabulous in so many ways. And again, like I said, the moon's going to have that same conversation. What are you transforming? How do you want to? Where do you want to expand? And what's your plan? Okay. And then we get into Thursday so this is about accepting what the situation is so that you can bring about the growth and self-love. You're being protected through this process, but you have to love yourself. People are going to treat you the way you teach them, and the way you teach them is the way you treat yourself. And so when you love yourself, you teach other people to have respect for you. Okay, so Thursday, the moon at 3:25 p.m. moves into Aquarius. And I got to tell you, Friday, that is some really super tense energy out there for everybody. So, I want to call that the duck and cover day. Duck and cover. I think you might really want to consider hiding out from the world. But it's a good time for you to really nourish yourself and really care for yourself and open yourself up to the flow of abundance of the universe. Even though the moon is in Aquarius, which is generally not the warm, fuzzy spot for the moon, this time, I really feel like Aquarius is going to be working very hard to keep their heart space open so that they can be open. You're going to have to remain open. If you have to physically imagine yourself opening the doors to your heart space to allow the flow of abundance to come through, because there is a path. But see, there's a ladder there. You have to have a plan. You need a plan. You need a plan. Okay, first we have the goose, higher goals, delegation, and soul tribe. I mean, there's a plan, right? Those geese, I love watching the geese. And it's so funny, I was just talking to my neighbor the other day, and she was making some comment about the geese when they're flying. And I said, well, that one that's not with the rest of them, see what he's doing? He's teaching them. Have you ever watched geese? Like they take the babies up once a day once they start flying, And then as they get stronger and it gets deeper into the fall, then they go up for 2-a-days. So they're training them, and then they teach them. At first, they're all just kind of flying around, but they pretty quickly, they will teach them how to do the V formation. If you've ever seen geese cross the road, you have two that go across first and they stand guard, and then the rest of them will walk along, and you've got two hanging back, bringing up the rear, holding. It's amazing. They are so organized. They delegate. They look out for each other. Like the geese will be laying around and eating or whatever, and you always have some along the perimeter standing there. They're on duty. They're watching. They delegate responsibilities, and not everybody is always the one that's in charge. And if they're all on the lake, and sometimes in the lake, well, there'll be like 2,000 of them gathering this time of year. And so you have this bedlam out there because the geese that are in a certain flock will be hanging out, and those on the edge will be standing up there and they're flapping their wings if any other geese get too close. And so you got geese facing off across each other, flapping and everything, but they're protected. They are being protective, and they are delegating, and there is responsibility. They have a responsibility to protect the tribe, the flock, however you want to look at it, but it's their soul tribe. And so you have higher goals, delegation, and soul tribe. I am supported and empowered to attain my highest destiny for the greatest good of all. Let go of relationships with people who are selfish or draining, and seek out respectful, loving connections with those who recognize your value and want to give as well as receive. Give up hyper independence and learn to let yourself be helped. Learn how to accept help. Oh, that's a tough lesson, right, Cancer? That's tough. I can do that. I don't need your help. When you let somebody help you, you're teaching yourself how to receive, but you're also giving them the gift of allowing them to give. Everybody needs to be able to give and receive in equal balance. That's that yin yang principle, right? So, if you can't think of it any other way, think of it as, I'm helping them by letting them give. Maybe that'll make it easier, right? Okay, so this will benefit you and others, as trying to do everything on your own doesn't help anyone. Trust that your biggest and boldest visions can be accomplished. Ask for divine assistance. Keep your intentions clear and focused, and open your heart to receive all the support you need to fulfill your destiny for the greatest good. And then you have the canary. And I was laughing because it says here, delight, joy, and surrender. Oh, gosh. All summer long when I was going through that healing process, all I heard from Spirit was, find the joy, find the joy. And so when you're talking about fifth house matters, where we started out the week sort of, was that energy of what is the joy. We're here to create, and we're here to be joy filled. So I sing my soul song with joy. Reconnect with your true self. What do you feel, think, or enjoy? What would bring more delight and happiness into your life? Break from your usual routines and give yourself permission to be quiet, to be in solitude, to heal. When you are ready, you will burst into the soul song once more. Canary is a positive sign that new energies of light, happiness, and expressiveness are awakening in your world. You will find and share your beautiful soul voice with the world. And they think you'll be singing in harmony. Some people might think it just sounds like a bunch of geese, but it's a beautiful song. So heads up, Friday's a little tense. People are a little grumpy. Duck and cover. And then on Saturday at 3:40 in the afternoon, the sun moves into Sagittarius. So happy solar return to all the Sagittariuses out there. We've got Venus moving into Scorpio. She's getting, so she and Mercury are now in the same sign. So the conversations, being that they're in Scorpio, are going to be a little more intense, but it's a real opportunity for heart-to-heart conversations. And then at 11:06 p.m., the moon will move into Pisces, which means that on Sunday, the moon is in trine, which is a very supportive aspect with Venus in in Scorpio. And so, yes, those deep heart-to-heart conversations, assessing where you go from here, recognizing the shadow and the light, what you know and what you don't know, right? Quarter moon is like only quarter of the moon is visible. So you don't know everything. You probably need more information. And you have balance. And balance is that work-life balance, is that yin-yang of being able to give and to receive, right? And being able to delegate, right? So you have balance. Take time to relax, indulge a little more or less, set up boundaries with your work. Balance. Also, as we started the week, we're in Sagittarius season, which would be, if you were a Cancer rising, your 6th house of work-life balance, and you have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Be willing to unconditionally forgive yourself and others, and to unconditionally love yourself and others. If you start with yourself, unconditionally forgiving and loving yourself, doing it for others is like a freaking piece of cake after that. When you stop being so hard on yourself and you say, hey, I'm just human and I made these mistakes and everything, all of a sudden being able to accept that other people don't get it right all the time is so easy. You're like, oh yeah, no, I get that. So I think we are our harshest critics. So find the balance and ask for the help you need to control the chaos, right? We started out with all this chaos. And you need some help. Figure out where you can find the help to help you manage, to help you. Can I say help anymore? To manage the situation. So this last card I'm going to pull here is going to be for that sun in Sagittarius, kind of just a sneak preview. On Friday, there will be a reading for the month. I call it the monthlies, but it's really for the Sagittarius sun sign. And that'll be coming out on Friday. And so again, just, if you haven't done it yet, could you please leave me a comment and hit the thumbs up? And let's see. I feel like there's another one. There it is. It didn't want to come up, but there it was. Ooh. Okay, so we have taking risks to start off with that new moon and energy and flowing into this week. And you have, for the period of the sun in Sagittarius, you have adventure. Wonderful new experiences fill my life, and miracles. My life is a miracle. Be willing to take some risks. Go off on these adventures. If you need to create space to be able to try new things in your life, to create something new, to do something new, then delegate some of your responsibilities out there. There are people that need to learn how to accept responsibilities, so be willing to give it up and let them do it. All right? I speak from experience. Okay, you guys have a great week. I will see you back here on Friday, and I really look forward to pulling cards for you next week. Take care.